Alright folks, welcome back to the second episode of this ceiling, featured ceiling tutorial. So to kind of go back to where we left off, basically we're creating all these lines. We've created all these reference for us in order to follow properly. And now the last part, it's really going to be to get all the rest of the components accordingly. As we can see, there's a lot of components to factor in. So it becomes quite important to really get everything right. Right now we've done these components, we've done these components, everything that's found on this side. However, now we need to address the middle buttons. And basically there's a couple of ways we need to do this. In this case, I'm just gonna take this portion and alright, let's go back to this line and you go back to the other line. And we're gonna equalize this to any way we can. Just because, like I said, we want to get this properly. We want to get this equal as well. I like equal things. So let's actually focus on this. Do the same thing on this side. So basically what we're saying is we want this component to be in the middle. Like I said, we're not done yet with this battle. We're going to do the same thing on this side. However, we need to address the middle ground first before we start doing these external sides. So let's do these four first, and then we're going to be addressing this one, this one, this one, this one, and then we'll do the corners. The corners really, all they require is an angle to be locked in. So at this stage, just make sure that everything works properly. I can see here that it hasn't been set up properly. So we'll get to there. Once we get to there, we're going to see a complete product. Once again, edit sweep. Select the sweep, we gotta bring it back to where it needs to be. I didn't actually. Sure. Now we got the proper setup. I'm not too sure if I actually want this here. Got me missing a couple of things. We haven't selected the proper channel. Let's just make sure that we're selecting the proper channel, and the same thing's gonna go with the downstairs ones. Essentially, we just gotta make sure that all of these are aligned, and they are aligned. No problem. This is the sweep. We got the sweep okay. So let's actually get started on these middle components. So we're going to start with this one, and essentially same deal. This is going to be equal thickness. Same thing for the other one. I'm going to extrude. Give it an equal sign. Place this accordingly. Equal thickness. So once we have done this, let's not forget a few things that we need to make sure that corresponds actually to this thing. Right now we don't have this completely done, so let's actually finalize this sweep as well. Make sure that we can see some of these don't function well. However, let's bring it back. So basically, boys and girls, this is not rocket science. Please know that whatever you do, it's always possible to fix it. Like I said, basically all I'm doing is really constraining my movement. So whenever I do make a change, it's going to change accordingly. So I don't have to always manipulate my sweeps. I don't have to always manipulate my extrusions. So at this stage we can see that, you know, everything's still the same and we haven't changed still tactics. You gotta notice some colors are not, you know, equal. We're gonna be adding parametric material parameters. So there's always a way to fix things. We just have to find the proper way. But for now, let's continue down. We're gonna look at the bottom. I like looking from the bottom. All right, so we did these portion, we did the sweeps, we did everything here, and let's actually fix these sweeps before we even start doing anything else. Essentially what I want to do is, let's do one sweep at a time. So I'm gonna take this one, and all I want to do technically is once again do the same exercise. I'm freezing these. I don't think there's any better way to do this, maybe there is. However, for now we'll keep it as this. We'll lock it in, so that way whatever change we make, whatever movement we make, it's gonna follow. I'm saying this mostly because we're gonna be manipulating this thing, so now we can see it's all around. We keep it as is, perfect. All right. We should do the rest as well. I'm gonna just turn these off. You gotta make sure you do all of them, otherwise you're gonna get undesirable effects. Whenever you do something parametrically, you need to take into account all movements in all directions, whatever it's height, length, you know, it does matter. It will impact your object later on. So like I said, essentially we want to have that flexibility of, you know, saying we need this room to be 9 feet 2 inches, and let's actually modify it so it's that, you know. I don't want to be redoing this every time, so, you know, I do this once, and oh Lord, I can. We'll figure out what the issue is. I'll just somewhere along the line I already aligned some of these components, so now when I realign them, it's showing me some kind of error. Like I said, I need to go into depth to really see what the error is and why it's giving me this error. But it doesn't change anything I need to do for now, to be honest. It's just this one. Highlighted geometry. Problem is I don't see any geometry. Highlighted geometry. Sure. We'll leave it like this for now. Like I said, we're gonna modify this thing later on, and for some reason it's not working properly, but we'll get to the bottom of this thing as well. Seems like none of the other components are giving me this error, so essentially what a circular chain of, because of that other thing. I think I know what it is. It's because I'm constraining that other components to this one, and it's basically giving me a few errors. I have taken note of the ones that are giving me issues, and I'm going to modify them later on. It's basically, we just gotta, I'm now constraining to something else that's constrained to this object. So we can see the sweep is actually constrained to this sweep as well. It's a common mistake. You just gotta make sure whenever you align that, you know, you see at the bottom, nearest to extrusion, that it doesn't say that it's nearest to sweep. Okay, that sweep is definitely giving me issue on all sides. We'll leave it like this, and let's actually modify the rest of these components. So sketch this. Sure. Extrusion. Once again. Perfect. Actually, no. Then lock it in. So now this one works, which is great, but the other ones don't work, so let's actually try it now, see if it actually made any changes to anything. Extrusion, still give me the same error. So for now, what I'll do is, remember the other trick I've used on the other side? Let's actually constrain it to this. It's the same line, but nope, actually that doesn't work neither. Alright, we'll have to see where that extrusion is really giving me issue. So we've done this, we haven't done this one. I'll edit the sweep for this as well. This is quite fun, I find. Like I said, do it once, do it right, and your job is done after. I needed this object to be parametric, to be honest. It's fun to be making, case by case scenario, and but I could be doing this case by case scenario much quicker. Basically, the reason why I'm doing this parametric thing is because I really like the ceiling feature. I definitely want this to be behaving the way I want it to behave, and I want to reapply this object to other projects. So this family is great, and I think it's missing one. I look for files on the web, but you can never really find everything. So whatever I can't find, I create it, and there's not a single thing I can't create. You gotta take that philosophy in life, otherwise you'll be quite stuck everywhere. Don't stop, never give up, and always do what you need to do in order to make it right. So, alright, we finished this one as well. So right now, this one didn't give us any issue. Even if I go on Sketchpad, I'm gonna actually did give us an issue. We can see all four locked up. Perfect. This one is done. This one is definitely not done. Definitely not. So let's slowly go at it. Go at it more. Like I said, you could be doing this for days if you want to do it properly. At this stage, all I'm trying to do is really get all of these components tailored. We haven't finalized everything that we needed to do with the sweeps and the appropriation of space. However, we'll get there on time, and perfect. Alright, so we've done this one. For some reason this one has been giving me issues, I think. Don't like it, to be honest. I'll redo it. At least here I can really select it once I've kind of can see it, so it's good. Oh wow, entirely wrong. I didn't even have it in the proper position. Big fail there. You gotta make sure you're attaching this. At one point there's so many lines that it's kind of hard to see what's where. Make sure that you're attaching things to the proper lines. You see, when I move things, this is a nightmare almost. So alright, edit sweep. So So this whole time I've been attaching it to the wrong thing. And hence why I couldn't get this properly attached. So as we can see, just, you know, going through each one of them, we can kind of see what the issues are. I entirely forgot a whole line, so good for us that we actually managed to see it. I'll just close this one off as well, and like I said, this one is most likely okay. Just want to double check it was okay. I'll cancel this. This one has not been okay. Perfect. Make sure they're all locked. They're all locked. Perfect. I've done this part, and now let's actually finalize the parts that I wasn't able to finalize. So, edit sweep once again. Sure. I almost don't care. Definitely. You'll notice some of these objects might give me issues later on. It's okay, we'll fix it one at a time, and we'll get to where we need to do. I don't know if actually I didn't place. This is the extrusion portion. So let's actually do this right now, because why not? Create this. Like I said before, Lord. It's a never-ending battle. So there's a sweep, and I need this to witness to this, actually. Say equal. Remove constraint. That's just messed up. It doesn't want to do it. Like I said, it tends to become nightmarish once you don't get something right. It's hell on wheels, I call it. Well, this one works. Why doesn't this one work? Edit sweep. Remember, we couldn't get things properly aligned. Funny, now everything's aligned. So we have here, this line is not. It still doesn't want to. The issue later on. My philosophy, one issue at a time. Don't be jumping the guns. There's no point. You'll just end up shooting yourself. So we've done this. The main issue we have now is really I'm unable to actually get the proper alignment. I do want the proper alignment, but is proving to be actually quite a challenge. Revit is known for this thing, so now you think you know it all, you think you figured it out, this issue, but you try it again and it just doesn't work. Of course not. Alright, so sweep, it's done. So alright, let's see. This one is probably causing me big time issues. And 10 minutes later, everything works fine again. So there's not really a good way to tell what happened. I could restart this thing, but let's face it, we don't want to be here for 10 days either. Okay, this one's done. This one is actually done as well. Was done until it's no longer done. I'm not too sure why. Nope. Definitely didn't work. Chances are I created this sweep, however I didn't create it properly, so now it's causing me issues. So now I gotta really find what the issue is, and it works again. Well, of course. Doesn't work now, it works later. I actually didn't apply nothing to this. I might have repeated myself in some of the steps. Nothing to worry. Like I said, did we actually put the equal sign? And the only other equal sign that we need to put is this one. Actually, there's the middle ground, so it's technically not moving anymore. This is okay. This is okay. We got the overall width. Now, whenever you can do, take away whatever you need to, just so it's easier to kind of watch what's happening. Probably did it. I'm repeating myself. So the only other thing that needs to be done is, alright, this is what's gonna go here in line. We do have the equal sign, and now we have these famous two, and we want to line this thing. Let's think about it. Maybe I wanted a line between these two. What did we do here? This is actually an exact replica, so... Oh wow, this is actually causing me issues. So now we gotta create more guidelines. Which is divided by the thickness. I know I can do this, or I could have done that. Okay. And the other one, nope. It's not gonna give me a perfect square if I line it to the top. I don't want to do that. I need to create actually a guide that's going to be in the middle regardless of what I've used here. And my advice is, I'm tired of creating these lines, so I actually know what to do. I tend to be quite proactive about these things. Sure, I can create this. I can do extrusion handle like this, and essentially I'll take both of these and I'll create a new one, and I'll call it offset middle. Oh sure. Didn't think that was an issue. Needed to move it to tell them really who's the boss. So the offset, the middle, it's gonna be external thickness divided by 2. Why not? So strength are not satisfied. Are you kidding me? So right now the problem is trying to apply this, but it's actually not a reference. Let's try this now. And still doesn't want to move. Let's actually try this with a reference line. It doesn't always work, but the reference lines actually might be able to solve this issue. See if I'm able to squeeze this in here. It's not working either. I know there is a way to fix this. I'm just not thinking straight right now. So why is it not working? Could use a reporting one. So I could put it like this. Say this is gonna be a reporting instance. So we'll call it offset. We'll call it offset 2 for Pete's sake, I guess. Sure. So we're gonna put this as offset here, and at the same time we have these two famous lines. Essentially, all I'm doing here is I'm telling the software that to report this, and I'm gonna create this as a reporting value. So whatever that value was, the first one, and I'll call it offset 1. So let's see, offset 1, is it gonna give me issue? It's not giving me issues, that's good. So now I want this to be offset 1, I want it to be equal to offset 2. Reporting parameters can be used in a formula only if it's dimension. Really doesn't want me to do it. Let's be honest, I know the distance between this, so I could just divide it by 2. So let's say the Q2 length, Q2 width divided by 2, of course, because let's face it, there's always a way. Of course, I'll delete this one. This is pretty pointless. We can rename these afterwards, but for now, let's actually keep them all in line. Oh wow, it's giving me issues. Yes, I definitely want. So there is a few things that it's not working properly. This is obviously a miss. Might as well just glue it to here. See, in reality, nothing works. What can you do? All right. So, first of all, it's not letting me do it, so I'm going to find a different way to do this thing. You gotta be able to find a way. I know these shape handles will come in handy. actually add these components. Oh Lord. Okay, half of them worked. How about that? Oh, they're not working out entirely the way I want it. This is too many references now. I should have started this file quite clean and start from the beginning. Now instead I got a bunch of issues. Actually I didn't need to constrain this, I just needed to tell that it's 45 degrees. So this is constraint, remove constraint, of course. So basically, I want this to be locked. There you go. It won't like me, but who cares? We have to redo some of these steps, I guess. So all we're doing is really we're constraining, and you know, because I moved this, everything that kind of followed this line is now not working properly. It doesn't matter, I'll fix it. Always find a way to fix things, so sure. We're gonna lock this thing to 135. So like I said, I want to be using 45 degrees. There you go. The constraints are not met. Please verify the constraints and meet them. Oh no, of course not. Like I said, there might be some issues. There's always issues. Just the way life is. Can't have all. Whatever you do, fix it. Don't worry about everything else. Everything else is secondary. We're gonna get to the bottom of this thing. It doesn't matter what we do. It's gonna fix itself eventually. We just have to find a way. I definitely didn't lock this one. Didn't lock this one either. So essentially all we're saying here is, you know, don't go past this angle. That's all we want. Make sure that you actually got all of them locked in. They do matter. As you can see, it's never the way we intend them to go. So I am missing a few things. I did want to add this component. Let's see if we're able to constrain. So it's basically, I know what my problem is. So let's do some fixing. Like I said, you gotta have the proper workflow. Otherwise, you're gonna be doing things and it's not gonna make sense, and there's gonna be so many. Cancel. Didn't want that. I'm gonna go and constrain everything. is this? We can see that this is no longer there. This is no longer going accordingly to plan either. Let's actually fix this whole problem. It doesn't matter what we do now. Like I said, you gotta be focused on the overall goal. We'll fix everything else. These constraints are all causing me issues for some reason. Maybe I have too many constraints. It didn't work properly the first time, so let's actually see why not. We've done this one. This is the one we haven't done. Maybe we did. Sure, we did it. It's actually, I'm gonna strain this whole thing. Gotta find out what the problem is. I haven't even constrained this. So right now there are literally 0 constraint in this zone. That's what I want. Unfortunate is that it is. And you know, I don't know why I've added this constraint. It's supposed to constrain to the middle, stay in the middle. Alright, 2 more. Alright, we have our lines. So what if I do this? It's constraining. Of course. What issues? We don't know. We'll never know, to be honest. Definitely don't like this. So we can see actually this is becoming quite an issue. Yes, remove constraint. Something has been deleted. To be honest, I don't care. Remove constraint. Why does this become an issue? Okay. All right. So we have this as well. I forgot. I'll just put this away for now. This is becoming an annoyance. Yes, definitely don't want to lock it. So as we can see, there's a bunch of issues. I've been, playing around in the wrong field. Never-ending story. Why? What? Delete it. Great. I'll set this by 200. How is this even possible? How is this even possible? Like, really? What constraint? Okay. I'm not too sure why this is even happening. Am I missing something? Linear dimension. Okay. As we can see, it's almost working. There you go. For the first time we actually managed something. So now let's actually, oh wow, that's not what I want. Guys, this is a nightmare. Freaking nightmare. I'm almost there. Oh, one battle at a time, one battle at a time. So we provided the feedback for this. Now let's see if we're able to actually get the proper values. If I'm able to do this, I'm gonna have a good time. And I'm able to do it. Essentially, I should be able to do this with all of them, and I won't even need to do the diagonal one because they're gonna place themselves automatically. That was the whole purpose. Alright, we got this done. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm slowly getting there, not fast enough, but you know, getting there. As you can see, not everything's stick and stones, even if we, oh, there's actually a way to make this. So we are able to impact, like what I knew, this won't position itself automatically. I mean, if this is a square, this is the, if this is an octagon, this is the whole worst octagon I've ever seen in my life. I almost like it. However, that's not what we need. Let me actually take some of these away. They're just in the way. In this stage, and I don't want them in the way. Okay. So angles are good, it's just the distances. So it's not an equal octagon. It's actually an hexagon. Oh no. That's why it did work. It's not a 45-degree angle. I'm creating an hexagon. Leave it at the hexagon for now. Essentially, we need to make all these four sides equal. And basically, we're going to take... gotta figure it out. As you've noticed, some of these things are not simple. I'm now at my 51st minute of this episode, and the battle is still going. We're still addressing the same issues. Essentially, I do want to get this, trying to figure out a way. I'm not too sure how I'm going to address this thing. Create more reference planes, but that's not what I need. We need equal lengths. I'm almost obliged to really go and create equal lengths. So this is quite simple, to be honest. I definitely need to make some adjustments. Essentially, I'm giving it what I need. It's not all equal now. However, the best way really to do this thing is, regardless of the size that you use, you're gonna get the same distance. So in this case, let's actually calculate the distance. And of course, we could use Dynamo to actually figure this out, but let's use the plain old calculator. And I forgot one. Of course, I forgot one. It would be too easy otherwise. So we were at 444. 644, 897 plus 741, and the last one is 357. So I basically want to take this and I want to divide it by 6, and my equal parts are 915. So let's actually see how this works. Member length. Oh wow, it's not even allowing me. It's not working. How did I do this? Try it again. This is just incredible. Just really incredible. It's definitely... This is not where I was supposed to be challenged. You know, part of me showing you almost. Get to the bottom of this whole thing. And I've used the wrong one. I love my octagons. Just nobody allows me to do an octagon. Of course not. This was the initial shape I was meant to have, so technically we need to only constrain every second one. Let's give it a shot. Really? Really? Get it to the correct one. Well, that just magnificent. Remember every second one. Let's try now. And I believe this works. Make sure that we're, applying these rules to the proper thing. All right. Got it going on. So, this should be working. I did forget one. Not as simple as it looks. Remember that rule. That was almost done. Let's actually just select these for now. Good. hop, 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 hooray. Let's actually face it, the battle's not over. Not even remotely close, so I'm just gonna actually bring this one back here. We got one of the sides, okay. Like I said, there's no really good way to do this. You really gotta figure it out, and you know, if you knew where it would go, we could create. It works halfway. So the only problem is this is gonna squeeze it. This comes here. Should be fine now. I never said it would be easy. Sure, we'll leave it like this. Oh, and it's already out. Sure. My mistake. Didn't think it would come out all the way here. Software doesn't make sense sometimes, but all right, let's now. So we came from a beautiful ceiling to this disastrous thing. I don't even know what to do with this thing. It's not even going in the right direction. Of course, you're complicating me. Paints and coatings. I'll go at the bottom. I won't even leave this view in order to finalize this portion of the plan. Sure. This should be straightforward this time. I've been saying this every time, but And one done, 20 to go. To do. There we go. Number 2 done. We can almost take these away now. Sweep. Hello, hello. I know these videos are quite long, however if you need to speed up things you can always speed up the overall speed of the video on YouTube, so just take your time to actually see everything how it works and you can go actually from there. So basically it is a lengthy process. I did want to show everybody the overall process, not just the easy stuff. It's not fair. The easy stuff is easy. Sometimes I'm not too sure what I'm aligning to, so make sure that you're aligning to actually the proper sides. There we go, another battle done here. Let's actually verify this sweep. I can actually see that it's not correct, so let's actually fix this. There you go. Aren't you a peach? You can see at the bottom it does say extrusion shape handle. I did initially look at sweep. I don't want to align my sweeps with my sweeps. Try not to do that. Oh, we actually do need to align the sweeps with everything. We want to align these properly. We don't want to align them to the sweeps, not the sweep, the extrusion. I'm starting to understand this whole issue about come on. Like I said, get it right once, fix it 20 times. I'm gonna do it right this time, so base with me, bear with me, I guess. This is causing me so many headaches. Make sure that everything's aligned, everything except this one. Sir, this has been aligned. I can still see a couple of them, you know, they're flying high. yes. The best way really to do this is to hide all the components that you don't want to be selecting. Instead of having to cycle through these like I am, you would technically be able to do this much faster. Oh, 2 more. The fun part about these sweeps, they can always be modified. They actually go quite well. You know, I'm starting to think I can just do this. And actually, let's not do this. So yes, I do want to do this. Yes, I do want to do this. And yes, I do want to do this. I don't want to do the rest of it. These are easily selectable, so we can actually select them quite easy. Put them on the side. Alright, another one done. Like I said, we only got a few more minutes. We're gonna get this right this time. In this world, you're gonna be hitting walls sometimes. No matter how much experience you got, it still doesn't work sometimes the way you want it to work. Don't discourage yourself, really, and go at it. Take whatever time is necessary in order to get it right. Just don't give up on these things, and when you have a problem, you know, it's up to you really to fix it. However, once you know what the problem is, sometimes you just need to remind yourself, you know. My battle is almost over. Alright, let's see what this gives out. Sure, I definitely want to save the project, don't want to lose all this valuable. Alright, we're back to the same thing, so first thing I want to do is I want to maybe take this color, make it all generic. Don't want to do paint. Tired of paint. Oh wow. Definitely not what I wanted to do. I'm going to link these materials eventually to something else. Try not to click Control V unless you're in this little box. Basically, that's what's been happening to me. Alright, moment of truth. Let's actually see if this works. What do we have wrong? I am never expect things to work 100%. Mostly because it's life. Nothing works 100% ever. And the last check. I'm locked. Alright, one piece done. None of this is locked. Plenty. I think it's because I've already constrained it. So, real quick. Oh Lord, I hate this box. I'm gonna take it away. I don't want to deal with it. Tired of dealing with it. It's killing me. So basically, moment of truth. Let's actually change this. Right now we got it at 5 meter. Let's actually put it to overall length of. Let's actually zoom this out. So let's actually make this a lot bigger now. So overall length, let's put it to 12 feet, whatever that means. And overall width, we're gonna actually let's do 16 feet by 12 feet. So actually just take a look at what it gives. Actually, for most part, it does work. I don't know what didn't work. Perhaps redundant pieces. Oh, actually, I can see it here. Actually, I can see it here too. There's a couple of fixes to be done. What didn't work? This is not. So this is a good way to actually see what works, what doesn't work. Like I said, we always got to make sure that everything's aligned properly. Otherwise, you get all these silly mistakes. Okay, so this one didn't work. This one didn't work. Yes. Everything else worked. I've seen some redundant pieces that didn't work properly. Of course, these are nightmares. So what I like to do is I'm gonna line it this way. Tell it, okay, come back. This one has worked properly. I don't think this is a proper height. Actually, it is properly assigned. Oh, I can pretty much say everything else worked. Nope, not everything. Definitely worked. It's the top portion that didn't work. And let's align it. Perfect. I'm pretty positive that this is gonna work now. If you don't try it, you'll never know. So let's actually try it again. Let's actually change this now to something else. Let's change it to 18 feet by 14. I know these are big values, but we technically, and it does work. So the battle is done. Everything works properly. Of course, a ceiling like this is built for bigger ceilings. You know, you got to take in consideration all these thicknesses and everything. We could reduce it, and that's something to verify as well. I'm even afraid to do it at this stage, just because I'm not too sure if it's going to actually give us the desired effect. We can see here that something, you know, it's not spreading these properly, but we almost got it. I think the last episode we're going to actually try to fix this octagon. We're going to try to make it work, and we're going to add the middle part again, which is going to be paneling in my case. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you learned something as well. Like I said, sometimes it's not as easy as it looks. You really have to dig deep. Still not too sure how to address this issue, but I do have a few ideas of how I could do it. I just have to really see if it's worth pursuing or not. Regardless, see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.